No, it's not a negative. But then he said, Asians. Yeah. You go to any Asian country, they can turn a microwave into a wristwatch.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
But he said it, as a member of the, I guess, Philadelphia Eagles or whatever.
So I see Latino families sticking together stronger, and they tend to not let the mental illness go as far.
You need to stop collecting newspapers, mijo. It's out of control.
Well, they talk about shit. They communicate as families, so you don't have that. And I tend to see an African American.
Why you have so many Barbie doll boxes? These got to go. I need to watch the Lakers. That's my Korean impression.
What would I need a Norm Macdonald, not to just cut it off.
Hey, oh my God, dildos everywhere. Oh my God, yeah, I watch that show Hoarders, and what you never see on TV is apparently Matt Paxton told me, what the H? Hoarders love dildos. Yeah, that's pretty weird, You got all these newspapers and holiday decorations all about the house there, and hey, what are you doing? Where are you going with that box there, buddy? Yeah, those are my dildos. Hey, I'm not hoarding dildos. I can't stop fucking myself with manufactured penises there. I know I'm a hoarder and have a terrible, terrible problem. Unable to let things go, but let's call a spade here, buddy, and not throw out mommy's dildos.
Have you ever done that impression with Norm Macdonald
No, I've never done any of my impressions to any of the actual people, ever.
I would assume he
Only because I haven't crossed paths with Walken since. I haven't crossed paths with Tracy. I'm going to get everybody pregnant. I'm going to get you pregnant.
Be a hoarder. Tracy could be a hoarder.
I hoard babies. I get people pregnant. I stack them sky in my closet. Inside that rat's nest was a bunch of daughters. All right, so the cultural differences. Latinos, very rare.
Very rare.
You're at 0%.
And I'll just say this, when you tend to see families is a tighter part of it's a very Americanized issue. And we are seeing it now in Japan. We're seeing it in Australia.
It's like anorexia.
Yeah.
That's ours.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's
baseball,
well said.
jazz, anorexia, and hoarding is what we've given the world.
Yeah. We have a problem where people don't eat. Where most the rest of the world
George
is just
Carlin,
trying to eat.
Best ever.
God. I'm just listening to XM and Sirius. I've been listening to a lot of Carlin. He was brilliant.
Rich cunt won't eat. God. Fuck her.
Yeah. But
I'm sick of guys named Todd and Tucker. Fuck Tucker. Tucker sucks. And fuck Todd and guys that look like Todd. So Latinos don't hoard.
Yeah. So
we're speaking generally because we're short on time.
We have had one. I've had one.
1 out of thousands.
Out of thousands.
That he left zero. That's 0%.
We tend to see when family structures are stronger, it doesn't happen, and the reason that is because when family issues get communicated, just because of lack of space.
Name of the game is communication.
It's all about communication, and you can take that to anything in your life, I think.
What's the difference between black and white hoarders? Is there one? Asian hoarders. The lady in Hawaii wasn't Hawaiian. I think she was Japanese.
She was Japanese. She was an Americanized, definitely Americanized woman. For her, it was a control. For her, it was all about control for her. And she had lost her mom. Her mom died tragically, and that was her trigger. So there's always a trigger, always.
So culturally, there isn't really much of a difference.
No, I think finances does become a part of it at some point.
So more class.
More money. Nothing like class. It'll just straight up. If you got more money, you can tend to blow money.
That's what I mean, like a caste system of hoarding.
Yeah. I mean, I say this all the time. If you
the serfs hoard much more than the landowners.
Yeah, some people, I could have easily turned to Coke when my dad died. I did gambling.
You did Pepsi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could have easily turned to drinking. I could have done anything. Where I turned to feel better about myself was gambling.
Before you came up here, you were down at the Occupy
I did go to Wall Street today.
Protest. Now, those people are in some serious needs of clutter cleaning.
They just need clean, man. There's some dirty people. I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping that was going to be more than it really was.
If it was a unified rally against big government and spending in the banks, you'd go, holy shit, like an actual revolution. It's the 60s.
Yeah, I believe in what they say they're trying to say, but I don't think they're actually saying
just going to hang out at this point.
Yeah, these people were I wrote on my Facebook before I got here, these are all people that need jobs. I'm hiring. I wish I could hire one of them, but neck tattoos and being high doesn't make me want to hire you.
When I watch Hoarders, the question that always comes back to my mind is, why not take the person out to lunch at Applebee's and throw all the shit away?
Worst thing you could do. I tell
Why?
everybody. Yeah. It's about control. They need to be included. They need to be a part of the process.
It seems like there's a kid gloves approach to hoarding, more the opposite. Keep an eye on that memory card. Opposite, like with addiction of drugs and alcohol, it's you're fucked. This is the end. You either do this now or we're all out of here. And with hoarding, it seems a kid gloves, and you have to sort of eggshell it for a while, get their trust.
A hoarder has...
Like on intervention, they just show up and the next day there's an intervention, and if you don't like it, we're all leaving your life.
Yeah, you'd never be able to help, give a long-term solution to a hoarder like that. It took 30 years.
You're wrong. Because then you just come back a month later and do it again. You just gotta pick different restaurants.
I won't come back. I will not come back a second time. I only help you once. That's my rule.
That's not true. Because you just told me you went back to the bunny guy.
Well, I got paid for that. That was separate.
All right.
That's actually aftercare. Big thing about Hoarders, let's talk about that real quick. We provide cleaning 6 months after we leave from filming the show, and we provide therapy for another 6 months to a year after we leave. And that's one reason this is the show I work on. Because without that therapy, the hoarder doesn't stand a chance.
But everyone watching Hoarders says, I'm sure 89, 90% of the people go, take them out to Applebee's.
Oh, everybody wants to just throw
that shit out. And when they come back, they'll freak out for a couple days, and then they'll be better. They'll be fine.
Yeah, and that's honestly why I wrote the book.
Why not do that?
Well, the hoarder, you'll lose all trust. They'll never talk to you again. And the goal is to get the hoarder a better life.
Right. But they will talk to you again because you're their family and you're the person they need.
They've already hurt more than you've ever hurt. They've been isolated by themselves.
Ooh.
You can never out manipulate mentally a hoarder. You can't hurt like they've hurt. I mean, they've been their mind goes 24/7. We talked earlier about that. I'll never know silence without mental violence.
By the Avid
Brothers. But if you've never heard the Avid Brothers, check them out. They are a bluegrass band, but they think they're Led Zeppelin. They're unbelievable.
You almost named your son Avid.
We almost named our son Avid, but everybody says Avid. What is it?
I got a son named Meredith.
Yes,
you think
exactly.
I don't care?
Exactly. So we went with Judd. My second son. But Avid Brothers, you haven't heard him, listen to him. But my favorite line is, will I ever know silence without mental violence? A hoarder's mind is 100% violent all the time. It's always going. At least you and I, when we go to sleep, it may only be for 6 hours, our mind rests. Their mind doesn't rest. It's always going. You ever had a dream when you just wake up and you're like, shit, I was thinking the whole night? And sometimes you actually figure something out?
Yeah.
Well, theirs never stops. It's always. So at least we get a break at night. Hoarder never stops. Every night they think, oh my God, I'm going to get up and do this tomorrow.
I'm going to get yellow bags for the paperboy.
Yeah,
they think that when they're sleeping.
They actually are thinking of a solution. They want to change all the time, and so they wake up and they go to bed. I'm going to change. I want a better life. I want my kids to love me. I want my husband to love me. And then they wake up and they see that pile and they go, oh shit, I can't do this, and they quit. So they quit every single day. Could you imagine quitting at everything you do 10 times a day? How would you ever get the ability to get up and do something good? I mean, they're just surrounded.
So if you just threw everything away and brought them back to a completely clean house,
they'd fill it up before Christmas.
All right, but then it's going to take them a while to fill it up. And if they
can't outwork a hoarder, they'll beat you so fast. It's amazing.
But if they start filling it up, now they're filling it up piecemeal.
No, you're totally wrong. I know what you're saying. It's the worst thing.
But I may be wrong, but that's what everyone's thinking.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And that's what people.
Hear me out. There's a completely clean house. The hoarder goes batshit crazy. I'm never talking to any of you again, and begins to hoard immediately. Right.
Mm-hmm. But that's what would happen.
Yeah. Right. But you're only hoarding 2 shopping bags at a time. And then when they go to bed or whatever, you come over to see if they're okay, and you just take one of those bags out with you. I think you could stay ahead of a hoarder.
If they're 75 plus and healthy, go for it. Because then they just got time. They're only going to live another 10 years anyway. They're not going to fill the house up. But if they're really old, if they're really young, you can't do that. They'll fill it up so fast. Oh, my God. I mean, everybody wants the same thing. They want the hoarder to live healthy, and they want the hoarder to have a better life. You talked earlier about the expectations. You have to be realistic about what your expectations are. Someone like Randy's never going to live a normal life like you and I. Most of our hoarders are never going to come back to having a regular life.
Randy, when you throw things of his away, you're throwing Randy away.
You're throwing away his life. He writes you off immediately. You're done.
You're throwing him away.
Yeah.
Right?
I actually tried to buy one of the Randykins from him. I said, I will give you $500 for this thing. And he was so offended. And I realized I had totally offended. I had lost his trust. Because to him, he wants you to enjoy that as a celebration and as a part of his life. But to offer to pay, that's like me offering to buy his children. I mean, it's honestly say, I like your baby. How much for you? How much for you? How much for the
baby
daughter?
Gap mannequins
on the Blues Brothers? He goes, how much for your daughter? I like your daughters. Well,
the
same
Old
thing
Navy
for
kid
Randy.
mannequin.
Yes, exactly.
You won.
Worst commercials ever. But yes, that is what a hoarder believes. You're actually trying to buy their children.
Have you ever come across a hoarder that you thought, you know what, fuck this person? You know what? I don't even want this person to get well. They're so disgusting. On their insides, they're so mean and ornery, and they were like this before they began to hoard. Screw them.
Yeah, it happened once. We had a child pornography hoarder.
Oh my God, that wasn't on air, was it?
No, it was a private job, and at the top it was like weird porn, just weird porn. And then
How do you not get caught?
Whoa, wait for this. Then it gets worse. Like we start finding like mermaid porn, which I found out is about children. I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either.
Where do you fuck a mermaid? I don't even understand it. But then you
probably
get
the
into
mouth, the gills.
The gills probably burn, but
tiny fish a-hole.
Yeah,
another bad name.
That would be a tiny fish.
Tiny fish.
What are you doing tonight? Going to see Tiny Fish a-hole.
Oh really?
That's it.
I'm going to see mermaid porn.
Mermaid porn. Disney porn was weird. The lower we got, then we started finding Polaroids, and we found the Polaroids. We're like, well, wait a minute. This dude took these, and they were...
Do you immediately go to the guy and go, what are these?
No, we called the cops immediately. We were like, we're out of here.
What town was that?
It was in Richmond, Virginia, our hometown.
That's where you live, and I love Richmond.
It's a good town.
I don't want child pornography in Richmond.
No, we're not known for that.
I did a movie down there, and I stayed at the Thomas Jefferson Hotel, and I just fell in love with the city. The James River.
The Jefferson. It's the only 5-star hotel in Virginia. It's a wonderful place.
Is it the James River?
It's right on the James River, yeah.
And that's one of the only rivers that flow north.
Flows north, and it goes goes right to Jamestown, right where the country's... I mean, Richmond is an awesome place, man. I love it. By the way, that guy's still in jail, just so you know.
The pornography guy?
Well, he got out, and then he had the balls to call us and ask us to clean his house again. And we were like, no. And then we found out he went back to jail.
Why do hoarders love Christmas decorations?
It's joy. I love that question. By the way, they all have holiday decorations. They
have the least to celebrate.
But that's the last time.
Their houses are filled with ornaments for decorating holidays.
It's the last time they had joy in their life. It's the last time they had family in their home, and so they hang on to that. And they really strive to. They'll let you throw most everything away, but the holiday stuff has to stay because in their mind, that's where they'll find happiness again. Is at a holiday.
Who was it that came along in your mouth? Who
came in my mouth?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm reading two different things at once.
It's Jim Norton, by the way.
Jim Norton came in your mouth? You know what? He's a good egg.
You can believe that.
Who came along in your life and helped you that you're also sort of like passing along, doing that person's work as you go?
Oh, Raymond Strauss. He's the guy that got me a job after I got beat up by a bookie. I called my family, and rightfully so, they turned me down. They said, you're on your own. You got to find a legal way out of this. And that was the right answer. He was from Richmond. He was my boss. He's since passed away as well. But he taught me, he said, this is your one chance. Everybody deserves one second chance. And he got me a job in Chicago. And I had to get there. He called me on a Thursday. He said, you need to be in Chicago on Monday. Pack up your shit, get there. And I was in Tahoe. So actually, it's the last time I gambled. I went to a poker game and won enough money to rent a U-Haul. And I drove to Chicago.
That's what I'm talking about. The confluence of events.
Yeah. Oh my God,
yeah. Back to your addiction and won.
Yeah. But here's the best.
Unheard
here's
of.
the crazy part. I literally, this is one of my favorite stories. I ran out of money.
Right?
We're good. I ran out of money in Lincoln, Nebraska. I was waiting for my credit. It was back when you mailed a check for your credit card and it took like a week for it to go through. I ran out of money in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Also given to you by Jim Norton.
And I had to literally sleep in my U-Haul for 2 nights because I couldn't get gas in the U-Haul.
You just turn tricks. Be a lot lizard.
Well, I was at the Cabela's, the hunting place in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I literally went through every fucking thing they had to sell. I went through the wind tunnel. I got to shoot guns. I did everything that place had. I basically lived there for 2 days.
Did it ever cross your mouth? Why do I keep saying the word mouth?
Do you want to suck my dick?
Yes.
Talking.
But why do I keep saying the word? That's what happens on TV when a news anchor has like a stroke. They say weird shit, and it's on YouTube, and everybody thinks it's funny, and you find out after the fact that the person was having a stroke outside the Grammys. You ever see that clip of that lady going, here now for mouth to blip blop? So what's the name of the man that helped you? Mouth?
Raymond Strauss.
Raymond Mouth.
Raymond Mouth.
Right.
Strauss.
Raymond Strauss gave me a shot.
He got me a job, got me one chance. And that's what all the guys I hire, I prefer to hire guys that are right out of prison or recovering addicts, and I give them their one shot.
You're being serious?
Absolutely. Give me a guy out of jail over a guy out of college any day. They'll work. Guy out of college wants to text his girlfriend and wants to
So
go get
anybody
drunk that
listening
night.
to this that just got out of jail that says, man, I'll never get a job, if you somehow get in touch with Matt Paxton, you have a shot.
Oh, sight unseen, I'll hire you, absolutely. Yeah, no, of course, I got to talk to him. I can't do neck tattoos. That's my one thing.
Why?
People don't want to work. That you want to allow someone into your home with
You're
your wife
cleaning
and
up
your kid.
cat shit.
Do you want to allow someone with a neck tattoo into your home with your wife and your child?
You're talking to a